Manipur, a state in northeastern India, is currently in a state of political turmoil. The state is evenly split between the Meiteis, the tribals, and the non-Manipuri population. This delicate balance has given rise to a power struggle, with the Meitei leaders attempting to use traditional Manipuri customs to assert dominance. This strategy has proven to be a failure, serving only to heighten tensions and threaten the state's integrity. The Meitei leadership, despite holding a majority in the Legislative Assembly, has been accused of turning the constitution on its head to further their own agenda, causing deep divisions within the state. The lands of Manipur are now divided into 3 territories, one for the Meiteis, one for the Kookies, and one for the Nagas. Due to these political machinations, the tribal population of Manipur feels insecure, prompting them to take measures to protect their land, customs, and traditions. Indeed, the political landscape in Manipur is a complex and volatile one, with tensions running high. To understand the current situation, we must first delve into the past. The political landscape of Manipur has been marked by a power imbalance, largely dictated by the failed politics of Meitei leaders. The Meitei and tribal or non-Manipuri populations are evenly split, yet the Meitei dominance has been a constant source of tension and conflict. The Meitei leaders, bolstered by a majority in the Legislative Assembly, have used their power not to bridge the divide, but to widen it further. They have attempted to overpower tribals by enforcing Manipuri customs, a strategy that has backfired, resulting in heightened animosity and a threat to the state's integrity. In a misguided quest to promote Meitei or Manipuri identity, they waged wars against tribal communities. Yet, it's a well-known fact that wars rarely resolve conflicts. They merely exacerbate them. This aggressive approach has been a significant contributing factor to the current state of affairs. The Meitei leadership's disregard for the Constitution has been another point of contention. They have been accused of turning the Constitution upside down to suit their needs, a move that has further alienated the tribal communities. The Constitution, after all, is meant to protect the rights of all citizens, not just the majority. The fallout of this failed politics is evident in the division of Manipur into 3 territories, one for the Meiteis, one for the Kookies, and one for the Nagas. This division is not a laughing matter. It's a grim testament to the divisive politics that have left the tribal communities feeling insecure and under threat. The result? The tribal communities are now taking matters into their own hands, protecting their lands, customs, and traditions from external threats. This is their right, as enshrined in the Constitution, a right they have been forced to exercise due to the shortcomings of the Meitei leadership. The past has shaped the present, but it need not define the future. As we delve deeper into the issue, we'll explore the ethnic conflicts that have arisen from this situation and discuss potential ways forward. Stay tuned as we continue to unravel the complex political tapestry of Manipur. Land, a sacred entity, has become a source of conflict in Manipur. The once unified region is now fractured, divided into 3 distinct territories, one for the Meiteis, one for the Kookies, and one for the Nagas. This division is not simply a matter of cartography or convenience. It is a manifestation of deeper ethnic tensions and insecurities that have been simmering beneath the surface. The division of Manipur is a testament to the failed politics of domination by the Meitei leaders. Despite their numerical superiority in the state's Legislative Assembly, they failed to foster unity among the diverse ethnic groups. Instead, they attempted to impose Manipuri customs and identity on the tribal populations. This misguided approach has only served to fuel resentment and conflict, rather than promoting a sense of shared identity. For the tribal populations, this division is a matter of survival. They perceive it as a threat to their land, their customs, their traditions, and ultimately, their identity. As a result, they have taken steps to protect themselves from what they perceive as external threats. This defensive posture has further exacerbated tensions and led to a cycle of conflict and violence. The Kookies, for example, have found themselves at the receiving end of this violence. In the absence of law and order, they have been subjected to looting and violence, with little to no protection from the state. This is not just a violation of their rights as Indian citizens, but also a stark reminder of the grave consequences of ethnic division and land conflicts. One of the most disturbing aspects of the political situation in Manipur is the Kookie ethnic conflict. This conflict is a chilling testament to the dangerous power plays and political maneuvers that have been used to suppress the rights and freedoms of certain groups in Manipur. The Kookies, a tribal community in Manipur, have faced severe violence and brutalities that have largely gone unchecked. During these periods of conflict, law and order seem to evaporate, giving way to a chilling lawlessness. The Meitei mobs are often given free rein to commit horrific acts of violence, including looting and gang rape against the Kookies. These atrocities aren't just acts of individual malice, but collective violence fueled by a larger political agenda. And it's not just the physical violence that's alarming. The Kookies are also subject to a more insidious form of conflict, the systematic erosion of their rights. Despite being citizens of India, the Kookies find themselves in a situation where they are forced to protect themselves from external threats, often without any form of institutional support. This is where the absence of military protection for the Kookie population becomes particularly troubling. In a situation where the state should be the protector, the Kookies are often left to fend for themselves. This lack of protection is not only a failure of the state's duty to safeguard its citizens, but also a violation of the Indian Constitution, which guarantees every citizen the right to protect themselves from external threats. What's happening to the Kookies isn't an isolated incident, but a symptom of a larger problem, the failed politics of Meitei leaders. The politics that prioritize power and dominance over the welfare of all citizens, that uses Manipuri customs to suppress others, and that turns the constitution upside down to suit their whims. The Kookie ethnic conflict is a stark reminder of the consequences of failed politics. It's a call to action for us to address these issues and work towards creating a more inclusive and just society. Because in the end, a society that allows such conflicts to persist is a society that fails all its citizens. As we've seen, the political situation in Manipur is fraught with complexity and conflict. The landscape is marred by failed politics, ethnic division, and land conflicts. Yet, it's not a lost cause. There are ways forward, paths to peace and unity that can heal this beautiful land. Firstly, it's crucial to recognize that the current political strategies aren't working. The attempts to overpower through force or manipulate the constitution are not only unsuccessful, but damaging. It's time to move away from these tactics and instead focus on collaborative and inclusive measures that respect the rights and identities of all ethnic groups in Manipur. Secondly, we need to address the ethnic divisions and land conflicts head-on. This doesn't mean resorting to violence or force, but rather opening up dialogues, discussions, and negotiations. It's about understanding the unique histories, cultures, and concerns of the Meiteis, the Kookies, and the Nagas, and finding ways to coexist peacefully without compromising their identities or traditions. Lastly, the rule of law needs to be upheld. The Kookie ethnic conflict is a stark reminder of the dangers that arise when law and order break down. Every Indian citizen, regardless of their ethnicity or location, has the right to protection from external threats. It's essential that this right is respected and enforced, that no mob is given free rein to loot and harm others. Moving forward, it's clear that change is needed, but this change won't happen overnight. It requires patience, understanding, and most importantly, active participation from all of us. It's a journey that we must embark on together, as one Manipur, united in our diversity. The future of Manipur depends on the actions we take today. This isn't just a call to action for the leaders, but for every single one of us. We have a role to play, a contribution to make. Let's start by educating ourselves, by understanding the issues and the stakes. Let's subscribe to Zelengam Media channel for more insightful content on the issues that matter. Together, we can shape the future